Hello, everyone. We will officially call this meeting to order at 1:03 p.m. 20th. Will the Committee on Parks, when the Committee on Programs, Activities, and Events please come to order. Agenda number 1, roll call. Katie Chang has been excused from today's meeting. Hauser is present. Robert Medeiros is not yet joining us. Nikki?
Present.
Christiane? Christy?
Present.
All right, so we have. Hearing all members present or excused, we will proceed to a few housekeeping items. Members of the public will be allowed to provide oral testimony on all items of the agenda in 2 ways, remotely and in person, at the Mission Memorial Auditorium. Each speaker may not have anyone else read their statement and is limited to 3-minute presentation on each item. If your name is called, please monitor your screen and activate your audio feed when prompted. I will then give persons who have not registered an opportunity to offer testimony. Please utilize the raise the hand feature in Zoom to be called on. Once all remote testifiers have testified, I will proceed to in-person testimony in the Mission Memorial Auditorium. People who have not registered will be given an opportunity to speak following the oral testimonies of the registered speakers. Written testimonies, including the testifier's address, email address, and phone number, will be available to the public as described on the posted agenda. As a courtesy, please turn off all cell phones. Members, agenda item number 2 is a short presentation by the recreation supervisors and Honolulu Botanical Garden program staff.
No, the presentation. This is
The vignette.
the vignette.
Yeah, sure.
It should be. Sorry, the mic's not working, but I just wanted to, aloha, Chair Hauser and members of the committee. Chair Oku, Deputy Director, thank you very much, Parks and Recreation. And so just wanted to share that what we'd like to do at the beginning of our committee meetings and our larger Parks Advisory meeting is share vignette as a way to highlight the work that we do here at Parks and Recreation. So first up, we have Marcy Pono. She's been with Parks for a long time, but in her new role, I think just about 3 months, probably feels like 3 years. She is our recreation leader, superintendent of our recreation support services, which supports all of our district-based programs.
So today I just wanted to share a little bit about our Lay Day celebration, our 96th annual Lay Day celebration that we held on May 1st at Papio Learning Park. We had an estimated attendance of about 5,000 people, which was amazing. But what we did this year, which was a little bit different in years past, is we incentivized our surveys to have people respond and give us feedback, because we know that feedback is a great tool to be able to improve our programs and our events such as Lay Day. So we had over 100% increase in survey respondents, which sounds really awesome, but I will say the respondents in the years past was really low, so it wasn't too hard to beat. But we well exceeded what we had in the past, and what was amazing is that we had a 95% satisfaction rating for the event, as well as 91% of respondents agreed or strongly agreed that they would attend the event again next year. We had 167 lay into our lay contest, and of the respondents, 57% of those attended lay workshops. So those are things that are classes that are produced by our districts to get people who are interested in lay and to learn about lay. So that was a really awesome thing to see. But I just wanted to share a little bit about our Lay Day event. And of course, there's room for improvements with the sun and it being hot. There's definitely some feedback on that, but just wanted to share.
For your presentation. Any questions or feedback? Thank you for that. Members, agenda item number 3 is a discussion and update on the department's fiscal year 2025 budget.
Aloha members, Laura Cleveland, Director for the Department of Tax and Acquisitions. What we are planning on doing is to do a more comprehensive budget overview for you at the next full board meeting. At that point in July, the City Council will pass the final fiscal year 25 budget. That should be coming out sometime either the end of this month or the beginning of June. We'll also provide you with a calendar for how the budget process goes at the council, which is slightly different than the state legislature. So they've finished their budget and already. Council lags a little bit behind that, in part because sometimes the state budget can affect the city and county's operations as well. So in July, we can give you that calendar, and that way you guys can participate in the subsequent year budget and then understand as we the fiscal year 25 budget. But just one highlight, even though it's not final yet, things do look good for our department. The requests that we have put in for some additions have been approved, but we're still trying to finalize our equipment list that is not in the code. And it will create some issues. So for instance, one of our initiatives was to create 3 teams of new type of special project unit. Each special project unit would have 6 staff, 2 trucks each with a working supervisor and 2 staff to do afternoon and early evening maintenance in some of our underserved areas. So it looks like the operating budget is going to include staffing, but the equipment budget does not include the trucks. So we're putting in a request for a board map 1 to be able to get our trucks on mowers and everything that's required essential equipment and dropped off. But hopefully we will have 100% good news for you come July and do the budget presentation. Happy to take any questions if you have.
Members, any questions for the department regarding the presentation of the fiscal year 2025? No, we look forward to that meeting in July. Thank you, Director. Next item on the agenda is an update on the department's hiring initiative and yearly goals and status of recruiting efforts by the Executive Services Division.
Hello, board members. I'm Rebecca Collins. I'm an executive assistant for the Executive Services Division. I'm gonna have our ASO with us, Francis Cabios. He's gonna first give you an overview of our recruiting, our hiring initiative, and then I'll dive a little bit deeper on 66 as to where we are within our department.
So within the department's hiring initiative, we've had about a total of 248 vacant positions throughout the year. We filled about 39% of them, so about 96 positions have been filled. We currently have 152 positions left available. We are currently struggling in different areas within our hiring initiative right now. Most currently we're getting more candidates for our positions. And we are continuing to bottleneck at the suitability stage. This is where our applicants go in and they go for screening with HR, whether it's pre-screening for drug and alcohol, and medical screening for suitability with the job. Currently, though, we're making stride. All of our divisions have been working hard. Also, I'm participating with job fairs. A lot of job fairs, at least 14 job fairs since July of last year, in order to hire for these positions and for upcoming summer program.
So what you're looking at and what you have on your desks, we've broken down the numbers by districts. You can see the opportunities for each district, what they have available to have, what they need to fill and hire, and how successful we have been in doing so. We've made some great strides in the last 2 years, thanks to everybody and all of the hard work that we have. And if you go to the next page, you can see it broken down by our pie chart. Our pie chart identifies, you can see the positions filled, the amount of hiring requests we received, approval, and where they're at in the process. So it's not an easy or fast process. There's multiple steps that are required including approval from our budget department, budget and fiscal services, all of it to DHR. Then once we have an interview process, and there's a whole bunch of processing and paperwork that needs to occur. And as Francis touched upon, their suitability. So all the hires are required for pre-employment drug testing and suitability, depending on the job that they are filling. So we have a division of urban forestry, they have a little more requirements, just depends on the position that they're at. So it can take some time, it's been as long as 90 days or so.
Yeah, the process has greatly improved within the last 2 years since COVID. Since the analysis from the Harvard analysis that the analysis has been conducted. We reduced our time from anywhere between 4 and 6 months, anywhere between up to 3 and 4, maybe less, for a lot of our key positions.
So we're ready, the department has, again, we're number one. I think we have some divisions that are catching up to our success rate that we have for the city. And I'm just gonna kind of delve into a little bit of our hiring goals because of the need to fill the position. The mayor and his administration has really put effort or emphasis on the departments to fill. And so we've actually established goals that we have to meet. And for this year, we have committed to fill out of the 145 positions that are established our goal. We as a department said we'll fill 100 of that. So, but as of today, we filled 99. So we're going to well exceed our own goals that we have established for the department itself. So yeah, we continue to make efforts and streamline our processes and make improvements to ensure that the onboarding of our staff is faster, quicker, and definitely the departments have made efforts to do that as well. We have a mass hiring, we have one-day hiring opportunities that we have taken advantage of. And as a matter of fact, our mass hiring initiative with ground maintenance is so successful that the Department of Human Resources is actually modeling their other mass hiring events for other departments have to be modeled at soon established. So it's very good news on that. Even though we still need more and we still ask for, especially for some, I'm sure some of them they've been making some great strides. So that's all for us, 1%.
And Bruce, any questions regarding hiring and recruitment efforts? I'm curious, in the phases, and I appreciate how this is phased out with the different processes for folks to come in. In your experience, where does most of the bottleneck happen? In which of the?
Well, it's hard because since COVID, it's been a job seekers market. And like private industries, we struggled with candidates in general. We don't know where the workforce is. So we struggle a lot with getting candidates. So the city's been working hard on trying to do things like the safety hiring initiatives. The department has been doing things like, mass interviews for housekeepers. The city in total has been doing hiring events left and right. Our PMRS division has been participating in a lot of school job fairs to help for summer. And despite all of our efforts, we see a great growth, but we still fall short because not a lot of people are applying to the city like they used to years past.
But to answer your question a little bit more, I know at the beginning when we were, I think when I first started, suitability was an issue. So we have to go through our Department of Health Services, Health and Emergency Services, and but they have made improvements themselves. So we're not the only ones that are experiencing. Everybody has to come up through that department for their suitability. So that has been something of a challenge, but I know they've been making great improvements.
I just wanted to add a few comments. So as team chair, so we're glad we already really put emphasis on hiring initiatives. So they did bring somebody in. He was a Harvard Bloomberg fellow who came and did an analysis of the city hiring process. And I think it was the first time that like a study was done where he analyzed data, he pulled, a lot of information from the different departments and DHR. and found that it took the CBA after 180 days to hire someone. That's 6 months. So it took a really long time, and so their push for us to cut that down in half to 90 days. The study found that actually there was time spent both in departments as well as HR and DFS. So there was a lot of, we looked at the actual average amount of days that paperwork, I guess, sat in those different areas. And so the city, did some things to expedite. So we cut out some processes in DFS. We would have to go through both fiscal and budget for review for a position before you could start to post and hire. So cut that out and then push in the department. So, within the department, we cut down our time on interview and figure out the paperwork. And so I just wanted to share that was pretty. And so it's taken a lot of work. We have great leadership. Laura pushed our department to get to where we're at. And as Kim shared, I'm going to brag more. Like last year, while it still took us more than 90 days to hire, we had the most hires last fiscal year. And then this year, we're continuing to cut it down. And as she said, we're going to exceed our goal of 100 fiscal year.
I have a question. I appreciate all your efforts in trying to address those bottlenecks. That must truly be a challenge. I was wondering, besides career fairs that you mentioned, what other forms of recruitment have you tried and you found successful?
Really for government, and it really is going to the different types of jobs fair, not only held by Department or organized by the Department of Human Resources. We partner with our sister agencies and the Department of Community Services through Work Hawaii. I know that in their job fairs, I think there could be more synergy between Work Hawaii and TPR. There's some opportunities for training and training individuals that are in transition of some sort. So there are some opportunities. It's just about getting that ability to partner and work on those details. I know that what you'll hear next month with the Department of Urban Forestry, they worked with, and director has highlighted and talked about it in some of our meetings. They actually have partnered with community colleges for our urban forestry positions and try to get them that way through skills and building that skill set. But other than that, I think we're open to suggestions if there's other opportunities other than going to high school career fairs, the regular job fairs that DHR puts are actually volunteers in the city. All city agencies go to it, the Blaisdell Center. But other than that, I know they do some external website hiring for the more difficult positions, but for us, right, that's been pretty much our pool.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I've been learning more about the good work that Work Hawaii does. So, and yeah, and recruiting through the community colleges. If we can be assistance, if there's any alignment with the department on campus, on the Manoa campus, that's where I am. And if I can be of help, I'm happy to do so. And recently I've been doing a lot of work with the high school health academies. And I know there's different types of career academies, but that could be another potential source too. I'm not sure of a career academy that aligns in this case. So yeah, it's helpful to know what kinds of skills and background. I know you mentioned urban forestry. To know what kinds of real skills that are needed in your department.
We'll do, we'll definitely. Okay.
Thank you.
Any community-based, like actually at the parks themselves, having hiring fairs really specific to that community and trying to recruit the surrounding communities at the parks for different positions?
Councilmember Auditorio actually had a fair, I think it was a White Top District Park. in the middle of the day, in the middle of the day, trying to recruit for companies and we participated as well. Actually, several city companies participated. I think they're gonna work that out, but during the middle of the day, and not in the ideal time, because it really need to know, but I was attended, but I don't necessarily know the volume of numbers that you get.
The volume of that event that I was at, this event, wasn't as successful as we thought it would be. We've also participated, last year in our Earth Day event where we went to different community college and participated in their fair, and then we had a table with our urban forestry division. I think that can include there as well too, but it's hard to track the participation at some of those events, but we are still visiting and looking to try some of those events to try and visit to see what kind of quality we're able to get in order to determine whether or not it's feasible.
And, sorry, my question is, has there been any effort to reach out to military spouses?
Yes, so Goodwill Hawaii, they have a group. I'm working with a couple of people over there as well too. We've been working with them to try and promote our job position and job opportunities as well with them. It's a little hard because a lot of our jobs, if they're not entry level, they require some skill sets, and a lot of them have very limited skill sets. So to go into a recreation program, you have these 4 years of related type of experience, and unfortunately, a lot of people within the military, they don't have that. For a lot of the professional experiences, a lot of them do meet it, and we do have a couple of people from the military that are working with us, so they used to work with us as well.
And just for clarification, is this inclusive of seasonal hires or is this just permanent hires?
These are just permanent.
But we're always recruiting for even summer, we gear up for that, if you know that it's in a career fair prior to the big summer hire, that's definitely something we push for, and I know that part seems to be the one that we always recruit, even though that's a contracted position.
Well, I commend your efforts. I see, I follow you on social media. I see all of the postings that are happening, active recruiting. Just continue to urge you to think outside of the box of potential candidates. I think that's across the board for all of us as we look to fill the vacancies that everything from nonprofit to civic work, being able to look at different populations that might be able to meet the needs. So having those skill sets, for example, one avenue that we use, a lot of times young people are not yet sure what they want to do for the rest of their life. And so to have an opportunity to take them into a particular workforce and allow them to spend a few hours, kind of a day in the life. So as you're going out to different high schools, different youth programs, the thought of full-time employment with government sometimes can be a little frightening, but to be able to have them maybe shadow for a few hours, to have a little bit of that experience is not so intimidating, but it starts to plant the seeds for young people as to the why this would be a great career opportunity for them. So we've got a lot of folks here who work in that realm, so please lean on us in time for support there. So, any other questions, members? No, thank you so much for your work. Appreciate it. Okay, members, we next have a presentation by Recreation Support Services. We will have an update on DPR's dashboard, summer fun updates, and overview of senior programming at our parks.
So we're gonna have our recreation supervisors on first and then our last programs.
Aloha, good afternoon, Program Chair Hauser and Program Committee. My name is Nicole Cayetano. I'm the District 5 Central Wildwood Recreation Supervisor, spanning areas from Portage to Whitmore. Also with me here today is
I am from District 1, which is East Honolulu, which is Makapuku all the way to Makani.
Identification District 2, Vicky Kitu Idea.
Darren Kimura, District 3, West Oahu.
Kelsey Takahashi, District 4, Winter Hawaii. Okay, so at our last Parks Program Committee meeting in February, we introduced you to our Summer Fun program. To recap our last presentation, we shared with you some general information about our Summer Fun program. What is Summer Fun? It's a recreation program with foundations in sports and games, music and dance, arts and crafts, that we are now approaching with an outcome-based planning process. We shared with you when is Summer Fun, and it runs from June 10th through to July 26th. Who we are, we shared with you a chart of our Summer Fun staff, our volunteers and our participants and their roles and responsibilities, and where we are servicing children island-wide and conducting programs within city parks and DOE facilities. We also discussed with you our EPR program outcomes, how in 2022, we began a shift to align our programs and events to division-wide standards and outcomes to promote quality programming. And we shared with you our 3 program outcomes, which are health and wellness, sense of place and community, and leadership. Lastly, we discussed our goals and opportunities for summer 2024 to increase the amount of youth service, to enhance our staffing recruitment, and to establish a leadership pipeline. So summer fun is fast approaching, and in a matter of weeks, we will be soon servicing thousands of youth across 59 locations from June 10th through to July 26th, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. So today, we'd like to provide you with an update from our last presentation, sharing with you our Summer Fun dashboard, our Summer Fun hiring status, and our recruitment efforts. So I have Mark Kova will be
About the Summer Fun dashboard. So I want to update you all on the journey of the creation of our dashboard and where we are today. So we've had 2 so far information gathering tools that have led us to where we are now. The initial information gathering was shared, the results were shared with you in your folders last meeting. And this really gave us the foundation to understand, I think, the data that we want to know and also the data that we didn't collect. So this was a great foundation tool for us to move on to the next one. So thank you, Dory. The second tool focused a little bit more on the immediate need to know now Summer Fun hiring status. And we identified this because we identified this as one of the primary goals for us to tackle. This tool originally started as attracting for one position, but as we went through it, we're like, hey, let's track them all. So now we are able to look at all the positions and we have it updated on a weekly basis now. So this tool has also evolved as we learn through going to the dashboard. Now we can visually have representation of the division and the numbers of where we're at for hiring specifically. So with these updated tools, and eventually we're wanting to have a more comprehensive dashboard, we're wanting to be able to analyze the data to give us some more in-depth information to identify the needs for staff and participant counts, program outcome alignment, and also the backwards design process, which will eventually lead to more data-informed decisions. We're still in development, so we're welcome to any suggestions from you folks, but we're still going through the motions to really get us to where we want to get. And back to you, one.
And now Kelsey and Darren will be presenting our updated hiring and registration statistics.
So over District 1, East Honolulu. We have 14 summer fund sites. Total capacity, if we do hire all 93 staff, would be 2,325. Right now, current committed staff, we are at 98%. So because, yeah, pretty good out there. Going to District 2, which is West Honolulu. Once again, we have 18 summer fund sites. We need 89 staff to fill our capacity of 2,175 participants. And again, we're at 98%. District 3, Leeward West Oahu. We have 12 summer fund sites. And we need 96 staff to fill 2,150 participants. And we're at 100% capacity. I'll turn over the next two districts to Kelsey.
Well, thank you. So, rounding up with 5 districts, District 4, we do have 12 summer fund sites slated for this year. We would need 66 staff to be able to hit our capacity of 1,650, and currently right now we have 86 staff committed. And with District 5, for their 7 summer fund sites, they would need 57 staff to hit their capacity of 1,400 participants, and currently they are at 81% filled right now. So although we are, starting contract, actually our summer contracts start this Wednesday, that's when they'll be onboarding, starting on the training. We will continue to recruit, hire, process staff for vacant positions. So we are still continuing our recruitment efforts and our hiring process. Our summer fund registration actually started last week, starting with District 1 on May 13th. And then with District 5 on Friday, May 17th. So we take one district's registration each day. We conduct our registration via our online system called PROS, and we do have a walk-in accommodations at our parks offices. What we have up here on the board for today's presentation, just because we wanted to capture numbers for the presentation today, are the registration numbers as of last week, Friday, after District 5's walk-in registration was completed. So we did a breakdown for the current registration as of last week, Friday, with the capacity, and glad to report that as of that night, we were at 7,393. However, the registration continues to stay open. The walk-in and the online registration, we just continue to go through walk-in accommodations as participants need it, they can contact staff. So even as of today, that number has already risen because we have registration just continuously going on. Okay, so I'm going to go over our new and improved recruitment efforts. So this year, we did a wider distribution of our employment flyers. So we contacted all the city agencies and we asked them to send out our flyers to see if they had anyone interested. Mass emails to all of our DPR program participants and their parents. And city council and state representative support. So they also sent out our flyers and at mayor's town hall meetings around the island. In addition to that, we did a lot more career and job fairs, and DHR helped us out a lot. So we did a few at community colleges, and we did a bunch at the high school. And next year, we're looking forward to doing a lot more high school job fairs because we have an exciting position that we got on board this year, which is the summer student aid one, which Mark will talk about more in a little bit later.
All right, so also part of our efforts to improve recruitment was to update how we visually come across to the public. We utilize the talents of one of our recreation directors in District 1. His name is Tyler Canoa, if he's watching. But he directed, produced 2 videos targeting the college student demographic. There was a testimonial style video, which hoped to create a more personal touch as to what someone can expect when they're working in summer fun. And there was an exciting themed video that was more quick, fast-paced, and it meant to entice and grab you. So, and we're also very appreciative because our administration has supported this effort and they boosted it on social media. So we're hoping that this video appeals a little bit more to the audiences that what you're gonna get out of the program as an employee. And from our last meeting, we heard you loud and clear that there are some missed opportunities with the top high school age students that are looking to have a job. So we, in 3 months, have created a brand new position, which is the Summer Student 1. Everybody has classes. This is our attempt at trying to close the gap between the junior leaders and the summer aides. Some of the requirements that of the summer student aid one, they need to be those who are graduating from high school with the intent of pursuing post-secondary education. Also, they will work alongside with other experienced staff, so they're not going to be totally independent just yet. We wanted to highlight some of the comparisons between a junior leader versus summer aid one, because they are pretty much the same age. So some of the differences in the planning, sorry, it's a bit small, but in the planning, junior leaders will receive direct instruction from the summer aides, versus the summer student aid one will work alongside other veteran staff to plan the recreational activities, and hopefully they get a taste of the implementation of those activities. Some of the fundamentals, the junior leaders will gain experiences and skills from working with their group of children and leaders that they're assigned to, versus the summer student aid one. Our hope is that they will be able to rotate amongst the different groups, so learning from different age groups they're working with, as well as different leaders of different experience levels. So the recruitment for the summer student aid one, it's super fresh. It just happened last week, Monday. So we are still actively recruiting. Currently from last week, we received about 10 applications and we are anticipating more to come. So that's a really exciting thing that I don't think I've ever seen in the department. Oh, we made a new position. So, yay. So, and I'll jump into that one.
Okay, so mahalo for allowing us to update you today, our summer fund dashboard, our summer hiring status, and our recruitment efforts. Our recreation staff are busy solidifying program plans, registering participants, and hiring and recruiting staff even to today. We're still accepting summer fund registration at open sites and recruiting for summer and hiring staff. So if you have anyone interested, send them our way. Mahalo again, and have any questions?
Members, any questions for the recreation sports services?
I just wanted to say, one, congratulations for getting the new role. I think that's really amazing, and doing it so quickly. I have a lot of friends with Kiki who are just anxiously waiting to sign up. So, on behalf of all those parents out there, thank you for all that you do, because I know how important this program is. I was just curious, when you're talking about sharing the employment flyers, because it seemed like you did a really great job in recruitment, in filling those open positions. Did you get any information back from those flyers about where were the most popular places and those were distributed, that sort of thing?
Okay. We do have a QR code on the employment flyer. So I know that's one of the things that the QR codes will track, is how many hits that they'll get and whatnot. I know that's another part of the analyzing data, especially response from those that we do recruit. Like, how did you hear about us? So I know that's on our radar to definitely look into for.
I actually had a question about the dashboard. Who is its current audience? Who are you with the dashboard? Is it just internal? And then do you have any plans to roll it out where it's more of a public dashboard for folks to see more? So first, who is your intended audience of the current dashboard? And then do you have plans to make it more of a public and transparent?
I will attempt to try to answer that. To be honest, we're in the complete infancy stages of it, so I think right now it was more for an internal use. We've already been inputting data, whether it's for recruitment, registration numbers, summer food service numbers, all of that type of information. But currently right now, it was always on different files or different forms, different locations. So as we did the hiring one, we were trying to centralize. So right now, I think it's internal and finding a place to just have a one-stop shop. I think eventually, I think it could be something if our administration wants to, it could be something that could be posted easily. We could have some of those graphics showing up on our website. That would be useful information. But right now, I think we're utilizing it as an internal tool. Right now, it's still in the situation.
Great. It has a wealth of information, obviously, and with data, it really helps to tell the story about what's working, what's not working. So I applaud you for wanting to take that look and using the data to help drive your outcomes and what we're working towards. So.
Yeah, I had a quick question. Couple of things. Coolwell and Central, what are your thoughts on how to make the gap between the 19% and 14% associate care for? What strategies are there? Anything that we can help with communication? And then I was also wondering, is this typical? Like year after year, have we been this successful, or has it been a really big boost in the strategies?
Well, I'll answer for District 4, so for the members side, I think as far as the numbers go, historically, this seems to be a little on par for normal. I would say certain areas, especially from maybe last year to this year, last year and like post-COVID, during COVID time, obviously everyone kind of took that hit and kind of be growing back again. So I would like to attribute it to the increased activity that we had. But for District 4 specifically, in order to try to hit, because we do have really pocket communities, which is hard to get that inventory coming in. This particular year, we tried to focus on getting assistance from areas within our community. So reaching out to our council members, state representatives, they helped us by distributing recruitment posters through their distribution and through their constituents. So I think that helps to kind of keep it focused instead of just a general for the whole division, but we try to put energy and effort into focusing on who can help us just within the community so we can follow up those specific communities.
Are there difficult, like, in looking at the vacancies that exist, are there certain roles that are the student roles, or are they the leader roles that the leaders are looking for, and is that a typical challenge?
Yeah, so the numbers there were reflecting the student positions, so the ones that are some of the leader positions. We do have, when we did the junior summer fund registration, we also did the registration for the juniors, so we can have a report on those numbers later. But the numbers that were reflected there would have been the paid adult leaders or the student aid one positions.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for your report. Congratulations on your success in hiring. I wish you all a wonderful summer fun experience as it comes out. So thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 6, public testimony. Do we have any remote or registered testifiers? Oh, there's a part 2. Oh, a part 2. Oh, my apologies, it wasn't on my pre-scripted agenda.
sorry.
I'll just give a little brief intro. So far, and I would say parks, the programming is, we have a wide range of programs. But what you've been, privy to so far, been around our youth programming. So today we have our recreation support services, specifically our senior section here today. And they'll talk a little bit about what that is, what it is recreation support services. But they will be presenting an overview on our senior program because we focus on people now also. And so it is, it's a current state, like what our program looks like now.
Thank you. So, so aloha, thank you, Parks Board, program committee members. Thank you for having us this afternoon. I'm excited to share with you today an overview, as Kehal mentioned, of our senior programs within the department. So what we're going to be covering today is recreation support services and who we are, senior section and what their role is, and as well as the history of the senior programs within DPR, a quick overview of the various senior programs we have, which includes events, activities and classes, as well as senior clubs. And we're going to follow that up with a SWOT analysis of our senior club program. And then we will be opening it up to the board for your comments and recommendations. So before I get any further, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Marcy Kono. I'm the Recreation Support Services Superintendent, as well as my co-presenters here. This is Steven Santiago, Senior Section Coordinator. Karen Castillo-Ben, Senior Section Recreation Specialist. And Gary Wise, Senior Section Recreation Specialist. So RSS, who are we? RSS is our recreation support services. We are the people behind the scenes who act as resource recreation professionals for the district. So you've had a lot of opportunity in the last program committee meeting, as well as this one, to hear about our districts and how they function and kind of what they look like. But this is our recreation support services section. As the district serve the communities, recreation support services serves our DPR staff, so our frontline recreation staff. We provide training and specialist resources like senior citizens, citywide event coordination, as well as administrative supports for our recreation staff. Recreation support services is comprised of 5 separate sections. It's pretty clear what they cover, except for special services. So special services section includes People's Open Market, as well as Therapeutic Recreation Unit. Then there's Sports and Aquatics section, Culture and Arts, Children and Youth, and Senior Citizens. Each section is comprised, generally speaking, of one coordinator and one or more recreation specialists. So, Senior Citizen section. The Senior Citizen section of RSS acts as a resource for the districts to create senior programs at their parks, sites, and complexes. They facilitate staff growth and development by providing senior-focused training, coordinate island-wide events for senior citizens, and provide guidance for senior club district councils, as well as collaborate with internal and external agencies and organizations to increase community impact within the senior citizen community. So Stephen will now share about the history of the senior programming within the department.
When you talk about senior section or senior citizens, there's always a history. So this program began in 1947 under what was then known as the Public Recreation, the Department of Public Recreation. They got together at a conference and decided that they needed recreation opportunities for persons over the age of 50 years old. After a few years of collaborations outside agencies, private sector, they came out in 1951 with the declaration that we need a senior citizen program for citizens over the age of 55 years of age. By 1952, a director was appointed for this new position, and under the city charter, under the now Department of Parks and Recreation, the senior program was created. So, DPR programs for our senior citizens. We have three major events we look at. We look at our special events. We cover RSS. RSS helps us do all these together. We do citywide activities, which is for members of our senior clubs and for the public in general. We also collaborate with many outside agencies through sponsorships, assistance, and we also get some financial benefits from many of them. District activities. Now, RSS cannot cover everybody, so we ask our districts. They have the power to help us out. They come in, they do district-led activities within their own parks. They're located within the parks, all of our parks and recreation areas, to meet the needs within their own communities. Now, the base of what we want to talk about today is some of our senior clubs. Our senior clubs are around the island for ages 55 and older. And they, while being semi-autonomous, they lead themselves with their own leadership. We provide the basic leadership. Now, a lot of our programming with them is in special activities. You may have heard of these, they've been covered on TV quite a bit. Our annual Valentine dance. Our new sponsor this year will be WellCare. We reach about 1,200 seniors at the Blaisdell Center for this year. Another one of our events, growing, is archery. Archery is noticed among seniors. It grew from 60 participants in the first year to now going over to 80. That's in a 2-year span. Our sponsor for that activity is HMSA. HMSA also sponsors us in our very well-attended Mayor's Crafting Country Fair. This one attracts over 1,500 people, is open to the public. People come in, walk in, and they're able to buy things from our senior community. We also have a special dispensation from the Department of Taxation, in which our clubs can make their sales tax-free. And the monies are going back to the clubs for their own use. So, after going over these things, we got to show you who helps us out a lot, which is our districts. So I'd like to go to Derek.
So as for our districts, District 1 consists of East Honolulu, all the way up to Kokohe, up to Makali. We have 5 senior clubs in District 1. Some of the classes that we offer out there in District 1 is Ulele, Aqua Agility, Lady, Ceramics. What I like to highlight is Aqua Agility. Aqua Agility is an exercise in the swimming pool, and it focuses on the muscles and the joints. So this Aqua Agility class at Makiki District Park was highlighted on a TV series Kung for Kahuna by Sue Jorgensen, the host Sue Jorgensen. Special events, Kahuna Corner is with our senior citizens. They participate at our Manoa Summer Fund. So what's unique about this is that it's a collaboration, a multi-generational collaboration with the Summer Fund. The Summer Fund, the senior club, the senior members participate in the class rotation at the Summer Fund site. So they teach arts and crafts to the children. Moving on to District 2.
Hello. In District 2, which runs from Aiea through to Makiki, and this is considered West Honolulu, has 9 senior clubs. Some of the interesting classes that they do offer is a lapidary class. A lapidary class is a class that cuts, polishes rocks, and gems. They also have a lot of cultural prep classes, such as Chinese opera, Hawaiian gardening, Korean drumming, Japanese dances. This is just to name a few. Some of the events that District 2 has hosted this past year is a fishing derby that they had at Oahu Regional Park, where the seniors were able to catch fish. They did a catch and release, and from what I understand, they caught a lot of fish, but they used only bread as bait. They had a movie day at Kapolei Theaters, where they rented out the whole theater, and they watched TV for Brady. District 2 also hosted a citywide senior and adult archery tournament. And as you heard prior to, it is something that is growing, and there's a lot of interest with the adult and senior group in archery. Going on to District 3, which runs from Waipahu to Waianae, and this is considered the Leeward Coast, has 5 senior clubs. Interesting classes that they offer is archery, again, a growing activity that seniors and adults enjoy. They have a senior class, and this is a different type of senior class because this class uses a mixture of different types of exercises throughout the session. So they might do rhythmic drumming for 2 weeks, then they might do chair exercises for 2 weeks, and so forth. So during the 10-week session, they do different types of exercises. And lastly, the tea leaf making class. And this is interesting to me because they're teaching the seniors how to make tea leaf. And so they can prepare for the mayor's Memorial Day service. So they're teaching the seniors ahead of time. So when the time comes for the memorial service, they're able to make those. Special events that District 3 hosted this year is Casino Day. They had a health fair, and they had a fun walk. And this year it was a 1970s themed fun walk that was held at the Central Oahu Regional Park. And this was a lot of fun. All the recreation directors dressed up in the 70s outfits. The seniors walked around the park, they walked the course, and they stopped at different stations. And they did different activities, such as 70s trivia, chair exercise, and so forth. So it was a lot of fun. I'd like to turn it back over to Karen to discuss this.
District 4 is River Oahu all the way up to the North Shore. So from Waimanalo to Wailua. District 4, we have 5 clubs. And some of the classes out there is hula, Hawaiian music, utakai, hanafuda. What I like to highlight is the utakai class. That's the Japanese singing group. So once our seniors get into our classes and they sign up our class, it kind of leads into our special interest group where sometimes they create a bunch of friends and they form a group and they go out and do community service and they sing care homes and other agencies. Yeah. And also special events. Out in District 4, there's a Kailua pool party. There's another special interest group, Nakapuno Koga, the Hawaiian entertainment group, and also Kaneohe Senior Center Open House. 44th annual Kaneohe Senior Center Open House just happened in April, and it's an opportunity for our seniors to perform what they learn in their classes throughout the year, and also to display their craft projects. So it's an opportunity also for the department and for the senior center to market and showcase to the public what they have to offer. District 5.
District 5 runs from Pearl City all the way to Whitmore Village, and District 5 has 6 senior clubs. Interesting classes. They offer ballroom dancing, quilting. They have an indoor class where they walk around an indoor track using weights and doing various movements such as shuffling or arm presses to complete their walk. And then they also have Paranku. Paranku is an Okinawan drum dance class. The special events that they hosted this year is a family bingo, country fair, and the Tri-Fest. The Tri-Fest is an event that allows the seniors to try a short version of a class. For example, they might do a 20-minute class on pickleball, a 20-minute class on rhythmic drumming, line dancing, arts and craft projects, etc. As you can see, all the district offers a variety of classes. They reflect the social, the economic, and cultural differences within their communities. However, there are also very similar classes that they offer, such as Zumba, line dancing, Mahjong, ceramics, just to name a few. This next slide is our number of senior participants that is registered in our program classes. In District 1, we have 3,391 registered participants. In District 2, there's 2,034. District 3, 1,095. District 4, 1,187. And in District 5, there's 2,068. We turn it over back to Garrett to talk about our senior clubs.
So the last slide was for the classes. We're going back to our senior clubs. What's great about our senior club is that it is in alignment with our program outcomes, health and wellness, sense of place, and leadership. Our senior clubs strive to improve the physical, mental, and emotional wellness, health and wellness of our senior clubs in the community. We organize different games like weekly activities, we go on excursions, we take classes, and also participate in events. Also, opportunity for leadership. They have roles of the officers at the club level and district level. These roles are a chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, treasurer. So it's a place or opportunity for senior clubs to get a sense of ownership, a sense of belonging, a sense of place in the community. And also up there we have, again, open to seniors 55 years and older. If you're 55, come on and sign up. District 1, this is our current senior club membership count. We have 30 senior clubs around the island. So District 1, we have a total of 135 members. District 2, we have 216. District 3, we have 203. District 4, we have 235 members. District 5, we have 214 members. So this is our current membership enrollment, and it's about over 1,000 members that currently signed up. Stephen?
So to stick on this number theme, the graphic you now look at shows that in 2015, we had 1,864 seniors in our clubs. This is just a club now, all senior clubs. In 2019, the number did slide to 1,545. 2020, yes, the number is 0 because COVID, all recreation centers are shut down. We've now been open for about 2 years. In 2024, and our senior clubs have climbed back to 1,003 members. Now, these are the members in our club, and we like to compare them to our population in our community. If you look, the top graph shows you that in 2015, 16% of our population was over the age of 60 years old. If you look at 2019, 18% was now over the age of 60. And today, our numbers are 24% of our senior population over the age of 60. That is in our community at large. So our program is based on age 55. The average median age of our classes, the people enrolled in our programs, is 75 years old. So after hearing all these numbers, we have to look at an analysis of how can we help our program grow. We're going to use a SWOT analysis. We're going to look at our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and the threats to our program. In our strengths, we're the city and county of Honolulu. We're facility rich. We have parks in every part of the island. We also have, we're well respected. Our programs are well liked. Kids programs, adult programs. We also are highly visible in our community. Right through any of our major streets on our side, it's one of our parks. We're also fortunate to have good staff in all of these parks. Our adults who come in, other people who come into our parks as advisors to our clubs are all city employees. We put them in there and they take over our clubs. But, oh yes, to toot our own horn. Sitting here, the three of us, we have over 45 years in senior citizen program. So we've been in the community for many years. Some of us have actually become senior citizens. But we got strengths, we also got weaknesses. Our program was designed for the plantation era. 1947, plantations were still in their heyday. Our plantations, the main points, like Paul, Wainua, Eva, all across the island. And so a little thing I want to talk about is White Pahu area, we had a club started here. White Pahu seniors, predominantly Japanese, coming off the plantations. Later, this club grew as more and more people joined. They changed the name to become the White Pahu Cosmopolitans. And the club reflected it. They were a very cosmopolitan group. Again, this is all coming out of our plantation era. So the program was designed for those people. It was designed for people who came out of the plantation. My grandparents were in the plantations. They said the plantation paid your salary, they took care of your hospital, they took care of your groceries. You were dependent on the plantation. Because of this, everything was on there. Their social interactions were all from the plantation era. And that's what we inherited, a program designed to stay within your community and not reach out as much. The club model has remained this way for over 70 years. This is a weakness we have, and we gotta change it. So, because we have a weakness, we have our opportunities. We can reprogram this whole program. We can look at it and see what can be done. We can get the programs to look at retired professionals, which is now in retirement age. They're the part of people we're going to be programming for, retired professionals. Creating special interest classes. Many people come and they want to learn how to go play pickleball, archery. That's not what the traditional classes were. Now it is. All of our rec centers are now recruiting into this. And our CEGA program is bringing up to this as well. We can use these classes to reach out to get more members into our clubs, as well as sign up for a class at the rec center. They'll then begin to join into our club programs as well. Our biggest advantage is partnerships. We're able to now partnership with HMSA, Generations Magazine, Caterwell Hawaii. All of these organizations help us put on our programs through giving us manpower, ideas, giving us in the magazine, media coverage. We can get these things. That also leads us to technology. We can now reach out technology-wise to get more seniors to hear about the Parks and Rec program, to get them to know what we do. We often hear, oh, we didn't know that was you guys. Now we can get the word out. So if you have opportunities, you got threats. Threats for our program, other senior agencies. They found out that the seniors have money. A lot of agencies are now popping up to get seniors to join their programs. Ours, we just want them to be in the program for their health and wellness. Later retirement, seniors are now working into being 60 years, 75 years old. They got their health is good, they don't have to retire. They continue to work, they're not in our programs. Seniors as care providers. You got seniors who are working later and seniors who are healthy. That means their children have children. Many of our seniors become babysitters. Many of them also provide care for their spouses or even for their own children. Seniors already belong to their own special interest groups. Now, maybe before they retired, the girl from Kaneohe, the lady from Kaneohe, already had her friends in Pro City. They got together every week. She had a group already set. They know what they wanted to do. Vegas in October, maybe somewhere else later. They knew what they were working on. There's also a lot of technology. Pinterest, you can stay at home and learn a lot. YouTube, you can learn to do a dance. So all of this is our threats. These are things that we're going to look at either to use it to our benefits and see how our programs can grow. Marcy?
Thank you, Stephen. I'm just going to speak from here. So as you can see, based on the data we shared and the SWOT analysis that we completed for our senior club program in particular, our need, we feel, is that we need to complete an overall assessment of our entire senior program. So this is where we ask you, Parks Board Committee, Program Committee members, for your input and for your recommendations, and maybe some questions you could keep in mind for us would be, what types of assessment helped your organizations? Where did you decide to start? Where and how did you decide to start these types of assessments? And how do you know you're meeting your community's needs? So we'd like to open the floor to you all now.
I have an initial question
Sure.
just about funding specifically for the senior
clubs? How does that happen?
There are senior clubs. What they do is when you join the club, they have a dues system. Let's say one of our clubs, they have a dues per year of $10 one-time assessment. That is how the clubs get initial funds come in. The other part, as you heard me mention, was the Mayor's Craft Country Fair. Now, at the Mayor's Fair, we have a special release from the Department of Taxation. All the clubs come in for free. The city, and thanks to HMSA, we put out the funding to get this program going. And the clubs come in, they set up their booths, and they sell products. We hope you join us. You can see all types of food. It seems to attract a lot of people. Cookies, cakes, brownies, sometimes bamboo souvenir if they get the right clearance. They come in with that. They bring in plants. They bring in craft items, and they sell those products. That is their primary source of income for the clubs. It's the dues and the Mayor's Family.
And sorry, just one more question. Transportation can sometimes be a prohibitive for seniors joining these types of programs. So is there any sort of transportation program?
We are fortunate. We are the city. We have vans, we have minibuses throughout our park system. Most of the clubs make these decisions. The advisors, great advisors, go out and they drive to these activities they wish to go to. Whether it is heading out to Doris Duke's Museum, going to the Gold Canyon, whatever it is on the excursion. Our advisors take care of it, they jump in with the vans. The vans are not good enough for them, they can charter buses. Catholic Charities, another group that we are in partnership with, they also provide van service to our seniors. So we do look out for our seniors and how we can get around the island as a group. We like it for them to travel as a group because it's just social. They get to talk. Advisors have a blast listening to all the stories that come up. Well, I know I do. I love having stories from my seniors.
Sorry, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. While we do have it for our senior club members, we don't necessarily have a partnership in place for people to get to the senior club itself. Yeah.
I have a comment as well. Just thank you so much. You offer such a rich array of programs for our seniors. And I certainly have appreciated working with DPR over the years, either wearing my Center on Aging at UH hat or working on the city and county's Age-Friendly Honolulu initiative. And thanks, Stephen, in particular, it's good to hear from you, welcoming one of my grad students to the senior clubs as part of her research, doing photo voice workshops. So we see that being a win-win in her, getting her research done, but also offering an interesting opportunity workshop for seniors as well. But in terms, I think it's true, what Stephen is saying, things are changing, and I appreciate the SWOT analysis. On one hand, the baby boomers not being like the generations that came before and looking for a lot of meaningful engagement, ways to give back, purpose. So I do see those types of trends. At the same time, I see a lot of opportunities for those who are aging within the senior club membership as members, that there might be more health information needs that maybe we can provide to those members in terms of medication management, managing chronic conditions, concerned about memory loss. I mean, those sorts of topical information. We've provided a lot of community education and training through the Center on Aging and in partnership with Department of Geriatric Medicine. We've done quite a bit of that. But in general, in terms of community assessment, I would say I would not want to assume what our current older generation wants, and I would hold listening sessions with the senior club members to hear more about what they are looking for and empower them to do that. But also others go to other groups in the community who are not senior club members. It'd be interesting to know, do they know about these offerings by Parks and Rec? What would they like to see? What would entice them to join? All those kinds of questions. I don't want to call it a focus group, that might be too researchy, but we try to call it like informal talk story listening sessions. So maybe it's a little less threatening, with different older populations in different venues, just to get a sense of the needs and wants. Thank you.
Yeah, and I would piggyback on what Christy said. We have at least 3 universities here, right? With Chama, HPU, and UH. And they're very research centric. There are a lot of practicum students that would love to dive in and do an assessment for you. Photo voice was recommended. We've done that with homeless youth to be able to go and talk to Kuna. That's obviously a great place to start. Anytime you give folks an opportunity to share their experiences, it's a win-win. We learn a lot from that qualitative. It's not just the numbers sometimes that you want to check off, but really hearing the stories of what worked and what didn't. I want to go back to the work that's happening at District 1 with involving the summer fun. Is that across all the districts, or is it unique to just District 1?
That's just unique to a specific site, a specific summer fun program.
And how did that come about? And does the department see more opportunity to involve the Kupuna with the summer fun programming?
Definitely, just again, it's up to our recreation directors and whatever type of new program and add to the summer fun. But we do have actually our supervisor, Mark Cole, that was here. I mean, he's still here, but I know he was one of the first that I heard about incorporating our senior citizens into our summer fun program. So, I don't know, Mark, you want to add anything to it? Or?
That was a program that I created. During the senior club is such a large part of the seniors' enjoyment that I knew during the summertime, a lot of the directors or summer fun directors are so busy with the kids that we take a break from the senior club. So as a means to keep them active, and also I wanted that opportunity because some children don't have grandparents and some older seniors don't have grandchildren. So I wanted that exchange, and originally it was to teach them how to do, old time crafts, old time games like the bottle top with the spinny, or even read to the kids. So they did program different age appropriate months. And, I'm very happy. I haven't done summer fun since 2017, but it's a program that has continued.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I commend you. It aligns with everything that the department's trying to do, right? That wellness, the connection, and to have the people working with the young people. This is a perfect scenario for passing on that information and knowledge, probably giving your summer fun staff a little bit of a break, a little bit also. So you can see more of that. It's a great model. Also in the city's grant and aid process now, for nonprofits that jump in and are interested in receiving grant and aid funds, we are required now to have a connection, whether it's tracking the number of volunteers that are Kupuna, that we're engaging, the number of community groups. So I just want to plant that seed. I don't fully understand what happens with the data that we as nonprofits submit to the city with regards to Kupuna. But if there is any way that you could use that information to help you in some of your assessments, what are nonprofits doing to engage our Kupuna, and how could you, within the city, use some of that information to maybe help you structure some of your programs?
Coming off the COVID era, we have began connecting that with RCP, our retired senior volunteer program. And we had that program because of COVID and everything else had stopped. We've been in touch with their people and we're now starting to reconnect with them to say how can we get our programs back on the line, how to get our volunteers back registered with them, so we can have all those numbers.
Members, any other questions? Wonderful.
Thank you so
all
much.
so much for your report. This was very insightful. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, just a quick feedback, November 23rd, if you're interested in seeing us in action, is the mayor's fair, at least they'll say. We'd love to have you and your checkbook.
Thank you. Okay, so learning that there are no remote or registered testifiers. So I can just skip that part. We'll now move on to announcements. Members, are there any announcements? Any announcements? No? If not, just a friendly reminder that the next committee on maintenance, improvement, and partnerships will be on Monday, June 17th at 1 p.m. And since there's no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 2:24. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.